welcome to Rockingham for the 2004 Days of Thunder Motor Racing Entertainment Show. Blue are here today, these side are here today, and of course, these guys are here today. All the drivers are on their parade. Let's remind you of what happened last year.
Over 31,000 are on their feet to see Ben Collins cross the line and take the championship.
And here he is, reigning champion 2003, Ben Collins. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Looking forward to the season.
Does it put a little bit more pressure on you as reigning champion with everything being different? You only met the team yesterday.
I mean, I can't really expect to go out like we finished last year. Last year we were completely dominant, the poles and wins and everything like that. And the boys have got to gel together. Certainly, we're still working on our getting practice at pit stops, that kind of thing, and that makes a massive difference.
And as reigning champion, how come you're not in the number one car? How come there's not number one on your car?
Okay, well, Texaco Abilene have got a long history of motorsport. I think this year is their 100th year being involved with it in NASCAR in America as well. And traditionally their number is 42, so I don't get number one, but like I said, I'm proud to be racing with them this year, and that's a lucky number anyway.
Well, here are the dates that we'll be racing this year in the Days of Thunder Series 2004. Very simply, it's the first Sunday of every month from May to October.
Well, we welcome back to 2004 Days of Thunder, John Mickoy. John, you're the only other person, apart from reigning champion Ben Collins, who's actually won this thing before, aren't you?
Yes, I am. We won it in 2001. It seems moon years ago now, but it would just be nice to have another go, really.
Now, famously, last year, and you're looking almost directly at it, that corner where you came a cropper.
Yeah, we had a bit of an incident in turn 4 last year. We got loose coming in, or we got tapped. I can't really remember what it was now, but we hit the wall at some rate of knots.
For anybody who's never seen this kind of racing before, how do you sum it up?
Awesome. I mean, if anybody's sitting at home and just watching this program and saying, what's it all about? It's like 180 mile an hour next 3 inches off a concrete wall, as fast as you can on an oval where the crowd can sit in that grandstand up the top there and see the whole track in the glorious sunshine. And it's a wonderful day out, especially with the pop band as well. You can't ask for anything else.
2 people I've not met before. Who are you?
I'm Steve Hobday.
Who are you?
John Higgins.
Right, you race for the same team. Who's that?
It's Team Renegade Racing.
And you're new to Days of Thunder.
We are. We've both done legend car racing for the last 3 years. And then we decided that it was time to move on. I'm the current legend car world champion. Won that in America last year. Spoke to Steve. We're very good friends off track anyway. Spoke to Steve. Do you want to start a new team? Let's go racing Days of Thunder, and here we are.
So far, it's the first race, but so far, what do you think of it?
It's superb. Myself and John have been trying to get in the series for at least the last 3 years, and we've actually got our foot in the door. We've got the cars, and we decided to do it probably 6 months ago. We struggled to find the money like everyone does, and we've come into it, and sort of realistically in the last 3 weeks we've got enough budget to start the racing, so we've turned the team round in 2 to 3 weeks, and to be fair, me and John, we were on the pace straight away. The team are all gelling together, and it's looking good.
Final question, who's the better driver?
I am.
You can't be.
First race of the season and you're on pole position, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, it worked out really well yesterday. We didn't get to obviously do qualifying, but times were taken from the testing. We still had some more speed in there. If it came to qualifying, I think we still could have probably got pole, but it worked out really well, so I'm really pleased.
Hello, D-Side.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm very well. You're performing later.
We are.
You're over there. You're looking forward to that.
Can't wait.
But never mind that. What about all of this?
I love this. This is brilliant. This is fantastic stuff. This is like the place I actually grew up in. A lot of the fast cars flying around. It's just the people that were driving them didn't own them. That's the problem. Gentlemen, start your engines! Go! Go!
Well, an interesting start to Days of Thunder 2004. The cars pulling out onto the track and a capacity grid. Now there is the challenge ahead of the drivers. 60 laps of the banked oval track at Rockingham, 7.9 degrees, the maximum banking, 170 miles an hour, the maximum speed.
And it's going to be awesome. Here's a quick look at the grid. Anthony Swan and Chris Cook on row 1.
Colin White and Ben Collins line up on row 2.
It's the Torque Speed pairing of Mikel and McKellar on 3.
Ahead of John Higgins and Michael Burgess.
Back on row 5, Steve Hobday lines up with Rob Speak.
Then the very experienced John Stewart with Malcolm Klein, a rookie, alongside.
Mark Proctor is back, and Ollie Playle is back too. They make up row 7.
Great name, Skid Carrera alongside the Frenchman Thierry Arnault.
And Mike Luck and Sean Richardson on row 9.
With Phil Weaver and Peter Faulding ahead of Tony King and Stevie Hodgson.
Absolutely right. Well, already the pace car lights are off. We're about to get set for racing. It's the youngsters up front. Will that experience show through? We've got some great onboard action from you as well. And newcomer John Higgins carries one of those.
This is the guy I'm going to watch, John Stewart. The pace of experience.
The pace of experience. The pacemaker experience, more like. Anyway, we are green. The 2004 season is underway, and Ben Collins in that Texaco car jumps out and goes double wide with Colin White down the inside.
But Chris Cook falls all the way back into the pack. Chris Cook lit up the back tyres there. That's maybe inexperience. Floored the throttle just a little too hard. Anthony Swan is the man running away at the head of the order.
Well, as you've already seen, we've got a 60-lap race here at the opening round, and we've also got pit stops. They will come on laps 29 and 30. More of that when we get there.
Well, this is the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And that is how closely packed they are. But ahead of them, Anthony Swan from that pole position has pulled away from Colin White and Ben Collins, and he's opened up a 2 or 3 car gap. Now, look at that. Colin White's already starting to close it down, even after just 1 lap. Ben Collins is there. Ian McKellar Jr. pushing very hard with that number 8 car right on his tail. That's Chris Cook. Chris Cook making a move. And in the wall, that is the 19 car. And what a disappointment for John Higgins, and it has triggered a pile-up.
Oh my goodness me. And we've also got action down at turn 2. That, unbelievably, is Chris Cook and Ian McKellar Jr., the DSI AnyDoc car 25. Yellow flags on the speedway, and that, Steve Slater, means we are under caution. That is also, looks like Skid Carrera's car having problems.
And sadly there's 77 Phil Weaver out of his car, also wrecked in the wall. And, well, that is Ian McKellar Jr. I think he just wants to sit down and have a quiet moment of peace after mayhem. Big damage there on Michael Burgess' car, crabbing down the pit lane with the axle knocked out of line. And my reckoning is there are at least 6 cars either in the wall or heading back to pit lane.
Well, here's where it all started. John Higgins got loose coming out of turn 1. Big hit into the wall for him. Michael Burgess just tagged him, which is why the rear end of that car is missing. Michael had nowhere to go, and behind, it's absolute carnage. Steve Hobday in the silver car spins, and the McDonald's car of Rob Speak is up in the wall, and then Skid Carrera and Phil Weaver also getting tangled up.
And then down at turn 2, a different accident again. Let's look at the one at turn 1 first of all, though. John Higgins, maybe pushing a little hard on cold tyres. Squeal of tyres, and bang! 150 miles an hour to 0. Now, I said the voice of experience, John Stewart. Just watch the way he works his way through this lot. He's talking to his spotter, or his spotter's talking to him, telling him to avoid, which way to go to avoid the mayhem, and he just finds a way to get through the pack. That's experience.
Absolutely. The spotters, incidentally, they're the guys who are up in the gantry, up at the top of the stands, and they are making sure that they guide the drivers through by talking to them on a two-way radio. Well, there is Rob Speak's car. Helen is down there in the pit lane as well to find out what happened.
What a fine way to treat a car that you borrowed off someone.
Who'd lend me a car, eh?
Not me, for a start. What happened?
Let's see the video.
Okay, which probably the viewers have already seen. So in Rob Speak's words, what happened?
I heard on the radio, spinner in 1, come out the throttle, which, you know, is the safest thing to do. Just got jacked up.
I've got a feeling that the smart money...
Well, jacked up means literally the car got wedged under the tail of his car. Now, this is the separate accident down at turn 2. Chris Cook there pushing just a little too hard. Maybe Ian McKellar lifted off because he heard about the yellows, and that's why the two made contact.
Well, it's unbelievable stuff, that down there at turn 2. Not sure about that. I'm sure we'll hear more of it. But in the meantime, The carnage has been cleared up. We are about to go green on lap 19. There is the green flag from Andy Mack.
And you see the car snaking as that 500 horsepower goes through the back tyres. Now the darkness car there, tucking into the second place on the track, is actually a lap down. And that's bad news for Colin White because he got caught in behind that car, which was running a lap down. And that's again allowed Anthony Swan to open up the gap. Ben Collins still there in third place.
Now, we saw that incident on turn 2 between Chris Cook in the 8 car and Ian McKellar Jr. in the 25 car. What on earth happened? We sent Helen to find out.
I had quite a bad start. I got far too much wheel spin, and I dropped back to about 4th or 5th, unfortunately on the second lap. I had a good run out of turn 1, and I went up the inside of Ian McKellar going into turn 2, but he just didn't give me any room whatsoever, and we just touched wheels, and we both ended up going off. I didn't see the yellow flags, or I didn't see the yellow lights flashing, so everyone was still going flat out.
Well, plenty of action still going on the track as well. Down the inside of the 75 car of John Stewart comes the Reebok car of Ollie Plale, and this is a great battle here in the pack.
Stunning stuff. Look at Stevie Hobday as well, making his debut here in the series. We heard from him and his teammate John Higgins. John out of this race, but he'll be back to fight another day. And the pack being led by the Monopoly back car of John Mickle, the 2001 champion. Great stuff this, and it's that experience double wide with Steve Hobday.
Oh, now this is what it's all about. Wheel-to-wheel racing on the banked oval. You can't just move across and close the door. We talked about the spotters, and this is where they play an important role. These drivers can't see out of the back of these cars, so they're listening to the spotters telling them where the other car is.
Well, this action continues. We saw the incident between McKellar and Cook. Helen's gone to get Ian McKellar's view.
First lap, first round, that's business as usual for you here, isn't it?
It seems like it, doesn't it? It does, really, to be honest.
And when I came running after you this time last year on the first race, you were furious.
I know, to be honest, I'm just quite fed up with racing with donuts, really. Just in this sort of sport, you cannot make contact with other cars. And what he just done then was just ridiculous.
Talk us through what happened.
Well, he's going down the bend into turn 2. I turned into the corner, he just picked the back of the car, spun me around, straight into the wall backwards. Lap 2, I mean, he's as quick as me, so what's the point? I just can't see. Inexperience, all it is. Just inexperience.
An unhappy Ian McKellar Jr. His teammate too is unhappy, he's lost a spot. But meanwhile, here's a bit of trivia for you. Who is the highest ever Days of Thunder point scorer? Is it A. John Mickle, B. Colin White, or C. John Stewart? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Days of Thunder Racing, the opening round of the 2004 championship at Rockingham. And what a drive by the man in the number 27 car. Stevie Hodgson started this race at the very back of the starting grid. Now he's up and fighting for the point scoring positions and going all the way around the outside of Mark Proctor. This guy is really fired up.
Now, I asked you that question before the break. Who is the highest ever Days of Thunder point scorer? Which one of those three did you pick? Well, the answer is Colin White.
And Colin White is on his way into pit lane just as we speak, because this is the opening round of pit stops. Now, you could choose to either come in on this lap or stay out and come in one lap later. And race leader, there he is, number 23. Anthony Swan is on his way, and the second of the 2 laps. Now, I don't know whether that is a good strategy.
No, it's proven not to be the case, but I'm not sure whether they didn't get the call or not. But look at that, a blistering pit stop from Colin White's team, 18.4 seconds. The Talk Speed boys, this is a brand new crew. Remember, you are only allowed 3 men over the wall, 1 who jacks the car up, 1 who changes the front tyre, and 1 who changes the rear tyre.
And Anthony has to do this in better than 18 seconds because he has to get back out on track in front of the now flying Colin White.
Just see John Mickle going through there in the 24 car. Here's the 18-second marker coming up, and a problem on the front right tyre, Steve.
Yeah, it looks like they've lost wheel nuts or something. There's a delay there on putting those wheel nuts on. You can see the crewman there shaking his head. He is disappointed with that. Away goes the wrench and away goes the car, but that has effectively robbed Anthony Swan of all the advantages gained on the track. Now, look at the top of your screen. Colin White comes across the start-finish line. Anthony Swan still having to obey the pit lane speed limit. There he can accelerate, and Colin White is already long gone. Anthony Swan will be furious.
Yeah, he may well be frustrated in there. 12-second difference, but he will now be fired up. He's got to chase down Colin White.
Well, a couple of other drivers also in trouble in the pits. Ben Collins coming round for a second time. Something obviously wasn't right on his pit stop. And the news from pit lane, Anthony Swan has now been given a drive-through penalty for a pit lane infringement. It's all gone wrong. Let's find out why.
A couple of wheel nuts we had problems with. Then because of the gun back, it caught on the edge of the wing and disconnected the connection on it. So we'll have to just modify it so it doesn't happen again. But we'll get there.
Well, here is Anthony Swan coming to serve that drive-through penalty, but he's gone to his pit box. Now, it was a drive-through penalty rather than a stop, and, well, the crew are urging Anthony to get going, so some miscommunication going on down there. He certainly shouldn't have done that.
Typical first race of the season, isn't it? Now, Ollie Playo in the 88 car running very strongly here and closing in on his tail as Colin White, Stevie Hodgson and Mark Proctor make up the top three. Steve Hobday, and don't forget, he is a rookie, is closing in on the back of the 88 car. Steve Hobday really flying.
This is a great drive by Steve Hobday, but meanwhile, let's just go and talk to one of the technical crew. Alistair Bennett is in pit lane with Helen to explain the drive-through penalty.
Ran over an airline in the pit lane, which is a clear infringement of the sporting regulations. The penalties at the discretion of the marshals is either a stop and go or a drive-through. So they were informed to tell the driver to drive through, and he stopped. Yeah, silly driver.
Well, I think that sums it up quite nicely, but yellow flags on track again. Lap 48 out of the 60, and this time it's for debris on the track. A few battered cars running around, a few bits and pieces falling off maybe, and you can't have that on a track at 170 miles an hour.
The restart then at lap 51. Ben Collins down on the inside. He is a lap down. Remember, nearly contact there with Colin White, but that puts Ben Collins out front. Effectively, Steve, putting him back on the lead lap.
That's right, the second car on your screen is the race leader, Colin White. And a big, big shunt behind. It's the 88 car of Ollie Playo spinning down the track, and the engine pushed right across the chassis on that car. And John Mickles' 24 car, very heavily damaged front and rear. The nose has been wiped off the 88 car. Malcolm Klein, the Irish driver in 85, also in trouble. And there is Anthony Swan, our pole position man. That is a very sad sight.
Well, things are going from bad to worse for Anthony Swan. Ollie Playo there inspecting the front end of his Westec backed 88 or Westec prepared 88. And Steve Hobday's been caught up in that too. John Mickle, thankfully, Steve, out the car.
Well, that is one of the biggest accidents I have ever seen in Days of Thunder racing. Now, watch the top of your screen. There you can see Ollie Playo makes contact with John Mickle, spins across, up into the wall. Malcolm Klein gets involved as well. Anthony Swan desperately trying to take avoiding action. And drivers walking back to the pit lane, and really that is just such a sad sight.
Very, very disappointing. Let's have a look. There is Mark Proctor in the 12 car. He gets to the inside of John Mickle. Stevie Hodgson, meanwhile, has dived into third place ahead of him. Not sure Mickle got away. Ollie Playo comes to the inside, and as they hold their line, those three, suddenly Ollie Playo just turns right, bang, and he's up into the wall. Malcolm Klein goes. Steve Hobday hits him. We see Anthony Swan flying. Skid Carrera gets through in the 11 car. But, well, here's your man of experience. How did he do?
Well, John Stewart, again, one of the oldest drivers on the starting grid, certainly very experienced, has raced alongside of Colin White, in fact, in every single Days of Thunder race. And there you can see, look at this, he's almost got radar, listening to his spotter, and the spotter tells him to move down to the middle of the track and just takes him straight through the wreck.
Well, there is the pace car, lights ablaze to pick up the drivers, Colin White, and we're going to get red flags. The race has stopped, Steve, on lap 55, which means that I suspect with so much clearing up to do, there won't be time to restart.
Well, that's correct. The checkered and the red flag being shown after 54 laps of actual racing. Colin White, the man out in front, with Stevie Hodgson in second place, Mark Proctor third, John Stewart fourth, and Ben Collins coming back from a lap down to finish fifth.
Fantastic. I can't believe it. We should have had second really, because we got held up by Sean Richardson, which I was very disappointed about. But, you know, third place on the first race, fantastic. Well done to Stevie, well done to Colin. It's brilliant.
Well done to Stevie Hodgson indeed. The 27 autocar machine there started from the back and came through to second place.
It's just an awesome race, really. I mean, we had a great pit stop, and the car were understeering a lot, but hey, I mean, we got second. I don't think we'd have caught Colin if we wouldn't have had that last caution, but I mean, we had a shot to win that thing, and from the back of the grid, I didn't have a race yesterday. I can't ask for any more.
He's clearly very happy, so too will Colin White's pit crew be happy. This was the pit stop that really put them out front and did the business for Colin White.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
How was that for you?
It was a good race. Shame there's so many accidents, but the car was absolutely superb, actually, and I got a new spotter up there today, and I kept on saying, where's everybody to again?
Yeah, they were all behind behind you, spinning out.
He said, well, you are 20 seconds in the lead.
And that puts Colin White 10 points ahead of Stevie Hodgson in the driver's standings. Well, they are the winners. What about the losers? Let's talk to Ollie Playle, find out what happened.
Ollie, what happened out there?
I think 3 of us collided on the way into turn 2, and that was the end of it. The car's pretty well damaged, but never mind.
It was very unlucky because you'd worked your way up the pack, hadn't you?
Yeah, we had gone from 14th to 4th, and with 10 laps to go, all we wanted was a top 5 finish because it was hard to get through.
Well, let's have another look at this accident. Watch Ollie Playle's car then moving up onto John Mickle. I don't think that was deliberate. Maybe he didn't hear his spotter. 2 cars get caught up in that, and then 2 more again.
You managed to avoid the first one, didn't you? You got caught up in the second one.
Yeah, I got caught up in the second one. It was one of my lucky things, really. Well, it was for me and 4 others, but 1 driver caused it all. But obviously, you might have seen that. But we'll wait and see. You'll take your own minds. The biggest word is respect, and some people haven't got it. And, you know, that's what happens. And luckily, this time, we walked away, but next time we might not be so lucky.
So just remind me again, who was the better driver?
I think I was high up the grid, wasn't I, John? Was I about 4th then?
Yes, he was. He lasted longer than I did anyway.
Excuse me, guys, it only seems like 10 minutes ago when I was saying welcome to Days of Thunder, both you guys on the circuit. Look what you've done, carnage.
To be fair, I was minding my own business, you know. I was in 4th position, I come off the restart, and then 3 cars hit each other going down to turn 2. And I just got collected by them, no fault of my own, so that's racing.
You've just been medical, haven't you?
Yes.
Everything working?
Yeah, I'm actually taller.
That's surprising, I thought you'd have been shorter.
Well, it has been spectacular here at Rockingham, and even Nemo turned out to see D-side. 28,000 basking in the sunshine, having a great time. We've seen some spectacular racing, some spectacular events as well. And coming up in just a couple of moments, we've got a competition for you to win tickets to see 50 Cent.
And we have a new tradition for 2004, our Smash Hit Award. This week, it goes to Ian McKellar Jr. and Chris Cook. A formation double whammy.
And we'll leave you to make your own minds up as to who was responsible there, but I'm sure you've got a pretty good idea. We promised you a competition, so for your chance to win a VIP trip for you and a friend to the next Days of Thunder event on June the 6th, including full hospitality and front of stage passes to see the world's #1 hip-hop artist 50 Cent live on stage, answer this question: who was the 2003 Days of Thunder champion? Joan Collins, Ben Collins or Phil Collins? Call 090 11 313 345 to win. Good luck! And that's it from today. Join us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for more action from Days of Thunder. It's round 2.
There's another racing title at stake, and it's round 2 next with GT on 4.